Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll just give it a few more minutes while we get everybody to join. Good morning. Feel free to use the chat function and say hello. Hi, Amanda. Hey, Sarah. Yes, it's super cold here in the UK, but I've just been talking to Chad and he said it's a balmy 24 degrees over there, so won't be long now, and we'll be just waiting for a few more attendees to join, and we'll get kick started at 8:30. And it's a beautiful afternoon at Tangalooma. Crystal clear water. The ocean is super glassy and flat, so get ready to see some amazing dolphins swimming in the shores. And yeah, get your questions ready as well. So once we get started, we're going to be doing a little bit of a poll and get some feedback from you all. Hi, Joanne from Newcastle. Yes, this will be recorded, everybody. So I can send that out to you. You can share with any of your colleagues, your friends and family, your clients, everybody. So yeah, I'll be sending that out shortly. So Chad, I think you can join us now if you'd like. It's 8:30 on the dot. Thank you so much for joining us.
6:30 over here. Hello everyone, how are we all?
We really appreciate you joining us all the way from Tangalooma Island Resort, Chad. This is just
I'm right now. I'm just walking in front of our deep blue apartments, heading towards the water and the jetty. As you saw earlier when we were just testing, we've already got a couple of dolphins in. So there you go. Someone's not seeing that apparently, Emma. I just seen a message show up on the screen.
Oh, let's have a look.
Did it only go into panelists or something?
Oh, let's have a look. Can we get some people in the chat to let us know if they can see both Chad and myself? I can see you both.
There we go.
Okay,
awesome. Okay, cool.
That's
well,
great.
Hopefully you can hear me all right as well. So
yeah, the sound's great.
So hello to everyone over in the UK, and if you haven't had the chance to meet me before, you're definitely the lucky ones. So I'm sorry you're going to have to put up with me for about the next half an hour as I go through this dolphin feeding program. So what I'll do is I'll be switching between cameras a couple of times, and you'll get to see everything set up as they set up the lanes for the dolphin feeding and the jetty and the dolphins. So I'll switch you onto the front camera now. And this is our little dolphin feeding area. There's a couple of people taking the fish buckets down to the waterfront. And the white buckets they've got here actually have the disinfectant. So people will be washing and cleaning their hands before they get started, before they touch the fish. So the dolphins don't it's the comments that needs to change to all the attendees, Emma. I've just seen that show up on the screen.
I'll get that sorted.
Okay, cool. So I'll keep rambling on, and hopefully I don't bore you all with the talk of the dolphins tonight. So just for those tuning in, normally the dolphins come in at sunset, and normally the sunset would be just over there. You can see a little bit of sunlight over behind the clouds still. A little bit of clouded this afternoon, so couldn't show you the sun going down over the hill right now, but it would be setting right about now over the hills. And for a reference point, we're out on Morton Island, but where my finger's pointing down there's a couple of lights on the horizon. That's Brisbane City, and the airport down there. So we're about 32 kilometres away from Brisbane itself by boat. So I'll try and get you some of the footage of the dolphins that are swimming around already. There's a mother and calf already have come in for the evening, and they must be under the water at the moment, so Can't spot them just now, but we'll be feeding down in this in the shallows just down here in front of where the camera is right now. No luck on spotting the dolphins so far, though. Sorry.
That's all good. Maybe while we're waiting, Chad, I can do a quick poll of our group. So I'll just pop the poll up now, and if everybody can let me know your answers to these few questions while we're waiting for the dolphins, that'd be great. So the first question is, where did you hear about this webinar? So a few places that we've been promoting it. So if you can let me know, that would be amazing. Like, did you hear about it on the Aussie Specialist Program or through TQ? Have you sold Tangalooma Island Resort to customers in the past? It'd be really great to know if you've done that. Hopefully we're going to be inspiring you today to send more customers there. And the third question, did you know that Tangalooma Island Resort was voted one of the top 3 family hotels in Australia in the TripAdvisor 2020 Traveller's Choice Awards? So not sure how many people know that, but it's a pretty big one for Tangalooma. And number 4, did you know Tangalooma Island Resort has completed renovations on its resort units and family suites? Plus, they have a brand new pool. And finally, a bit of a tricky one, maybe for those that don't know Tangalooma super well. When did the wild dolphin feeding program begin? So was it 1992, 2001, or 2015? So a few more votes coming in still. I think we've got about 30 of you responded now. So if you just want to finish off those, and then I will share the polling. Okay. So just sharing those results with you all so you can see. So great to see some of you have come from the Aussie Specialist Program and also the Tourism Queensland email newsletter. That's interesting to see that not many of you have sold Tangalooma. So we're really hoping that lots of you will learn heaps about Tangalooma Island Resort today and see this incredible dolphin feeding experience. And it might be able to inspire you to send your customers there. And not many people of you knew about the TripAdvisor Award, so great to share that with you guys. And also about the resort units. These renovations have only just happened in the last couple of years, so we're making sure all UK agents know that all of the resort units and family suites all have new bathrooms. They're really, they're situated right in the centre of the resort. So they're really great for families, right in front of the pool and walking distance to the beach as well. So a great option for families. And 1992 is the correct answer for when the dolphin feeding program began. So congratulations everyone that got that correct. And I think on that, we might check back in with Chad and see if we can see any dolphins again.
Yeah, I'm still here, but no dolphins. The mother and calf that came in earlier, I can't spot them right now. They might be up the end of the jetty, and that's closed up at the moment. There's a boat due to arrive shortly with guests coming in on our normal 5 o'clock departure from Brisbane. So that boat will arrive very soon. And when it pulls up, they lock off the end of the jetty so that people don't get in the way when they're loading and unloading luggage. So that'll happen shortly. But theoretically, the dolphin and the mother and calf will be swimming around down the back of the jetty at the moment. So hopefully we'll see them shortly.
Yeah.
But for those following along, what I'll do is
they're actually live dolphins, so they don't come in on cue. They do come in at sunset, but we're hoping, you know, by the 9 a.m. mark here in the UK, that we'll be able to start seeing those dolphins come in for their nightly snack.
Yeah, what I'll try and do is actually give you a bit of history, because the dolphin feeding program, which Amber knows as well, has been going for years. I saw a few of you get the question right, which was really cool, and that the first dolphin feeding happened back in 1992. But there's actually even goes back further than that. So how it all really began is back in 77, 78, 79 and 1980. The Osborne family came here to the resort for a holiday. And they liked it so much, they kept coming back each year. And they'd come and hang down on the jetty each night. And they'd see dolphins here that were just swimming around and chasing fish under lights. They ended up buying the resort late 1980 after 4 holidays here, year after year, back to back. And over that time, the dolphins kept coming in. Eventually, we had a consistent dolphin, which was Eric. Now, Eric was the very first dolphin to come and visit regularly. And what happened was in 1986, Eric came in with a baby calf. And that was when we actually realized that Eric wasn't an Eric. Eric was a girl. So we quickly renamed him to Beauty. And Beauty continued to keep coming in. In 1990, she came in with her second calf that we know of, which was Tinkerbell. And Tinkerbell still comes in to this day. The cool part is Tinkerbell even comes in with her children and grandchildren. Or grand calves, if you want to say, because dolphins have calves, not children. So, and then in 1994, she came in with another calf, and I've forgotten his name, sorry. But anyway, Tink started the dolphin, between Bobo, Tinkerbell, and Beauty. They were the first 3 dolphins that were hand-fed. And it just started in December 1992 when the first guests ever got to walk in the water and hand feed the dolphins. Betty, one of the resort owners, she had been slowly hand feeding the dolphins for a number of years each night. Up until then we worked with the Queensland Marine Park Authority, got approvals and authorization for how we're doing it, making sure we're doing it correctly. 1995, we started working with Queensland University to study the dolphins and all the marine life around the bay here. And then we continued to have more and more dolphins come in. By I think end of 1995, we had 9 dolphins coming in regularly. 6 dolphins coming in regularly. One of them was Rani, and Rani wasn't yet hand feeding because he was quite young. And he ended up feeding not too long after that, and still comes into this day. So there's a few of these dolphins like Tinkerbell. So Tinkerbell's now 31 years. She's been visiting the resort pretty much every night. And she's brought in 3 of her own calves and 2 grandchildren or grand calves of her own as well. So we're up to the 4th generation of the family of dolphins that comes in every night. Now, if we look over here, we've got our dolphin care team. They're just doing their normal nightly briefing, talking about what the plan is for tonight. We will go on, once they break up, we'll go and interrupt them and meet with Josh, who's one of our dolphin care team people. And Josh will be the one taking us down into the water and introducing us to tonight's dolphins that have come in to feed, which haven't arrived yet. I can't spot them yet, so that's making me a little bit nervous because this definitely doesn't happen. But like I said, at 6:15, we had a mother and calf dolphin in earlier, so they're around somewhere. I just can't see them now in the normal feeding area. It's possibly because the tide's quite low. So you can see that the tide's a long way out. It's quite shallow there. So for us, the tide's normally up a bit higher and the dolphins come in a bit closer. So yeah, the feeding program, you can see there's a silver buckets all lined. Yes, I'm camera shy. The silver buckets are lined up along the beach. So in those buckets are fish, and the fish are called herring, and they can actually be found in the bay. We buy them in bulk and freeze them and then thaw them out each day for what we feed each night. We feed roughly 20% of the dolphins, 20% of the dolphins' daily intake of food. Now, the herring has a low amount of bones in it, high amount of fat, easy to digest for the dolphins. So it's something that they enjoy and they obviously keep coming back for. But as I said, we feed them about 20% of their diet each day. So they don't rely on us. And what's really cool is there you go. I can see the dolphin out the back there now.
Yay!
So it's pretty dark, but there is a dolphin and a calf swimming out the back there about 30 meters from the shore. There's a mother and calf there. Now, but as I was saying, the dolphins, the coolest thing you'll see, and hopefully it happens tonight, it might not because of the shallow water, you get the occasional bait schools will swim through the dolphin feeding area and the dolphins will all of a sudden shoot off and chase those fish. So even in between being hand-fed, they will shoot off and take their favourite baits. Now, the feeding crew has just started breaking up, so I'll walk down to the beach and start giving you more of a briefing of what's going on down there. And we'll hopefully get to find out which dolphins have come in for the evening.
Okay, guys, and we are going to be starting to load everybody down onto the beach. Now, we do make your way through the gate. You'll see that we have a...
So in the background right now is the Dolphin Briefing by our Dolphin Care team.
Now, it's very important that all throughout the program that you do social distance at all times. Okay, guys, if you'd like to slowly make your way through.
Okay, so we'll just head down. We'll go and say good day to Josh. We'll find out more about what's going on tonight. So we've even mic'd up Josh, so he should be able to comfortably. You should be able to hear him from all the way over there in the UK quite comfortably. So I'm just going to plug you in now. Okay, so say good day to everyone over in the UK, Josh.
How you doing, guys?
So,
okay?
Yeah, hopefully we can hear you okay. So now I've just spotted we've got a mother and a calf in, is that right, so far?
That's correct. So we do have 2 mothers at the moment that are bearing calves.
How old are those calves now?
Both of them, one of them is 2, the other one is not quite 2. It'll be 2 in July.
Okay, what are their names?
So it's Comet and Scout.
Okay, and do they have a relation to Tinkerbell?
Yeah, so little Scout is Tinkerbell's most recent calf.
Okay.
Scout is 2, whereas Comet is Silhouette's baby, and not quite 2 yet.
And how's Silhouette related to Tinkerbell and Beauty?
So Beauty is the mother of Tinkerbell.
Yep.
And Silhouette, the relation.
Was she Bess's child?
Yeah, it could be Bess's.
Bess's child. So Bess, for those watching from home, Bess is one of the dolphins from quite a few years ago that doesn't come in now, but her calves still come in, and her essentially grand calves still come in.
So Bess was one of the original dolphins, like Beauty, Tinkerbell's mum.
1996, I think she was coming in. Yeah.
So we don't know if those 2 were related or not because it was before the program, but likely they could have been sisters.
Yeah. So the dolphins have a social structure, and the ones that we're seeing here tonight are all typically from the same family or from the social structure that have set up by what we call Tinkerbell's pod from all those years ago. So all of the dolphins are familiar to us. They all have names. The Dolphin Care team, they'll head into the water shortly. And then part of their first feed each night is they go in and check the health of the dolphins, look for marks on them. Right, Joshua, you tell them what you do when you go in.
Basically, outside of every night, we get all the staffs. We'll walk out and do a staff feed. So it's for a couple of reasons. One is just to even strengthen our bond with the dolphins. They do recognize tone and faces as well. So we're just strengthening that bond as well. We're just checking, making sure there's no injuries or fishing line entanglements. Actually, just last week, 2 weeks ago now, we're doing a staff feed and one of the dolphins presented a hook in its mouth. So we're just checking for things like that. If we need to do anything differently throughout the night, making sure they're all okay.
Now, I've just heard another dolphin show up making a loud exhalation noise. Is that like a chuff, you call it? Is that right?
I'm not sure of the term, but I know what the meaning is.
Sorry, yep.
He's basically, it'll be a male, almost guaranteed. He's basically letting everyone know, I'm here, I'm hungry, and hurry up. So he's a little bit impatient, that one. I'm thinking it's probably Comet. Oh, not Comet, sorry. Calypso.
Calypso. Oh, okay. And Calypso is also quite young, like less than 10 years old. Is that right?
Calypso's 7 or 6.
Yep.
So that's regarded as a teenager in dolphin years. Okay.
Now, we're expecting 5, 6, 7 dolphins tonight, roughly?
Standard is around 7.
Yep.
It's quite complex. I won't go into the family structure too much, but basically the females and calves, younger calves, will stick together.
Yep.
So normally that's about 7 for our pod.
Yep.
If we have any more than that, that's going to be the males arriving or juvenile males arriving separately.
Because the males tend, once they finish their feed here, they go back to their normal life and social structure. The males are in their own pods or they're like teenager hangout pods, but the females, they all stay together in their own pod, sort of. Is that right?
That's right. So it basically consists of 3 separate groups in Dolphin Society. So once we finish the feed here, they're not all going to be a big happily family and swim off all together. It's a bit different like that with the dolphins. Basically, there's the alpha males will sort of form an alliance and they'll go off together Then there'll be the mothers and calves and juvenile males. They'll all stick together. And then there's the less dominant males who are just like Calypso and Bets. They're teenagers. They're not quite forming their own pods yet.
Okay, cool. So when I came to see you today, one of the things I came to ask you planning for tonight is, which are the regular dolphins coming in at the moment? So for those watching at home, we tend to have very much the same dolphins coming in night after night, every night of the year. As I said, they're all much of the same family. So I came and asked Josh and Sue, which dolphin are we likely to be feeding in lane 1 tonight? And they gave me the tip that Tinkerbell, who is the matriarch and our 31-year-old dolphin, is most likely the one we're going to be feeding. But a couple of the males might come and push her out of the way if they turn up tonight.
Correct. So Tinkerbell, everyone's favourite. She's often in most nights. She'll be here. The only time she might get nudged along, there's kind of a hierarchy which lane the dolphins are.
So lane 1 is the Boss Dolphins lane.
Dolphin,
for those looking at home, lane 1 is the one considered closest to the jetty here. And we go across, you can see we've got 5 buckets for 5 lanes along here. But the Dolphins, for some reason, have chosen the jetty as their number 1 position. That they like the limelight, maybe. But so we were planning to feed Tinkerbell tonight. We might, however, end up with, is it Nari and Echo? Okay, cool.
So they are wild dolphins, and they're going to decide when to show up. Tinkerbell being the alpha female, she's going to pick lane 1 unless the alpha male rocks up. And in that case, they'll nudge Tinkerbell along, and we might feed Echo, which is a pretty cool dolphin. And
yeah, Echo's got a cool story in that he wasn't originally, that we could tell, part of the pod. He was essentially a rescue that followed old Freddie in. Correct, and he semi-adopted him. He came in as like an 8 or 9 month old calf, and we had to start feeding him early to make sure he was looked after. Took him off the feeding program once he started hunting fish at about 2 years old, and now he still comes in today. And how old do you reckon he is?
He is about 16, I believe.
Yeah. And how big would he be? I'm guessing he's one of the larger dolphins. Being an alpha, he's going to push Tink out. How big would he be?
He's not quite an alpha.
Okay.
He's second to Rani.
Yeah.
So Rani's the alpha. Alpha male.
Yep.
Echo is quite large though.
Yep.
He's going to be around 230 kilos.
Okay.
Over 2 meters.
Yep. And the other interesting story for those watching at home is for Rani. We like to name our dolphins when they're quite young normally, but the trick is we've since learned that we have to name them an asexual name. So Rani is actually the term for Indian princess, but we named him when he was only about a year old. When he turned up at a 6-year-old, he was showing things he shouldn't have been showing, and we realised he was a boy. So we had to, we then found out that he was a boy. So most dolphins start showing sexual maturity at about 5-6 years old. Is that correct, Josh?
That's correct. Yeah. So that was even the same case with Beauty. Back when the whole thing started, it was more a name like Bob or Boris.
Yeah. So
a bit more masculine, and then once we found out.
So that's why we have Comet and Zephyr and Calypso, which can go across things. Because we like to name the dolphins, but we don't want to wait 6 years before we name them. So so that's it. But now I can see a few more fins out the back there. How far away are we from heading down to hit the water now, Josh?
So once we've got the beach completely filled, we've still got to abide by COVID regulations and all that. So once we've got 100 people on the beach, we'll then bring them down to the white buckets here.
Yep. Oh yeah. So this is where we'll be washing our hands, because it's a disinfectant bucket. So everyone that comes to feed the dolphins, you put your hand in the water. I'm holding a camera with one hand, so I'm only going to wash one hand tonight. But people will wash their hand before they go down to the grey bucket, which we can see down here behind Josh, and they'll take a fish or two before they head down to the water with one of our eco marines, Dolphin Eco team, which is Josh here plus how many we got out here tonight?
We've got 9 people tonight.
Yes, and 9 helping control the feeding program tonight. So the dolphins are wild. There's no nets or cages out here. We can't touch them. Most dolphins find it fairly irritating for humans to touch them, but they are quite happy to hang around you. I've had them where they'll just stick their tail on the sand and put their nose against you while they wait for the next fish so the tide doesn't move them around. They're quite happy to lean on you, but it's a really cool experience. So the last week or so, which dolphins, you said six or seven dolphins are coming in each night. Which ones are you probably expecting tonight?
So tonight, like I was saying before, it'll probably more than likely be the family and calves, the females and calves coming in. So I'd assume it'll be Tinkerbell and Scout. Silhouette and Comet. possibly Luna.
Yep.
And then likely Bets and Calypso, the 2 teenagers. They're still hanging around their mother and calves.
Okay, so Tinkerbell and Scout, Silhouette and Calypso, you said, sorry?
Silhouette and Comet.
Silhouette and Comet. Now, they're still coming in as pairs, and they're 2 years old.
Yep.
How long before mother and calf tend to separate, or the calf doesn't hang around mum full time?
Yeah, so very close. They're on the milk until about 18 months or around 2.5 years.
Yep.
Once that's happened, the mother will begin to shoo the juvenile dolphin away.
Yeah. They get sick of the baby,
they get a
do
little
they?
bit sick of them, yeah. So they try to shoo them off a little bit. As well, the dolphin will start hunting on its own by then.
Okay.
So that's why you'll see when you come down tonight, little Comet will hang around Tinkerbell.
Yep.
And we're not going to feed that one.
Yep.
Just because we give them 2 years, so they can develop those hunting skills in the wild.
So they don't rely on us basically because they're wild. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the rundown of the family that's coming in regular at the moment. As we said, oh, hang on, we're about to get underway. Sue's giving the briefing over here, so I won't talk over that for the moment.
We are very lucky that we have up to 9 dolphins that do pick it up on a regular basis. Sometimes over the next few minutes, we will see a few more of these dolphins arriving. So before we do give us another download, there are a few important messages.
So just while we've got Chad on mute, just for everybody, if you do have any questions, use the Q&A. We'll be able to talk to Chad, do the Q&As after he's done the dolphin feed. So do pop any questions in there. Thanks.
We are very lucky that we have dolphins that do pick it up on a regular basis.
Now they're going to do their first staff feed that Josh was talking about just before, where they'll go down, feed the dolphin, build the bond, and give them and check their health. Now I won't be joining for that first one because they have to do that themselves, and we'll go down straight after once they've done that first feed, and we'll get in the water and hopefully get you this first-person view of feeding one of our family of dolphins.
Jellyfish are not very treats of broccoli jellyfish. Remember, when we do go fishing, we do need to fish responsibly. Unfortunately, over the last few weeks, we have had a number of sea shorebirds coming in flying into Tangalooma with some type of fishing line entanglement. Also, we had little Harry, our little white-faced heron. He had a fishing line wrapped around his foot the other night. So
Okay, so we're just going to go up with Josh to have a look at which dolphins have come in. They're going to check it out, and
whenever we can, and we can do that by just simply purchasing a material bag. And when we go shopping, we use a material bag, and also and by purchasing a reusable water bottle, we are cutting it down on our plastic. Okay, also the dolphins are quite keen to get the feed underway. So for all the guests that are on the beach and on the back half, I am going to give you a quick briefing on how to feed the dolphins. And it is important that you do know how to feed them before you go out into the water. So first of all, if anybody has any food on their fingers, if they have any sharp rocks or gems in them, you can please turn them to the inside of your hand. Dolphins, they do have very sensitive skin, and we don't want to leave any of our marks on them. Now, you'll notice on the beach we have a row of white buckets and a row of blue buckets. Now, it is important that everybody please the white bucket and the skin. Now, we're going to take 2 people out.
so what are we doing here, Josh?
So basically, we're just checking what dolphins have turned up tonight.
Yeah.
So we can get some sort of idea of what lanes they're going to be in.
Okay, now I'm not a professional. This is what you do.
Yeah.
How do I tell the difference between each dolphin that I can see in the water here?
Yeah. So straight up, those two closest towards the shore there.
Yep.
A little bit smaller. That's Comet and Scout.
They're the new calves that are about 2 years old you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
So a little bit smaller. They're not quite fully grown.
Yep.
They're the easiest to pick off straight away. So
because they're so much smaller than the adults.
So if those two are going to be in, 100% my mother's going to be in as well. Okay, so we can tick off Tinkerbell and Silhouette.
Yep.
Comet and Scout. So that's 4 we've got already. And then
so I can see 7 dolphins right now. So we've got 5 adults and 2 calves.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's right. So
cool.
The 7 we were talking about.
Yep.
The family, females and calves, they're all in tonight.
Yep.
So I've already ticked off 4. So the rest is going to be Luna and Calypso.
Okay, cool.
As well, we can tell by their fins.
Have we got Tink?
Yeah, Tinkerbell will be here. I'll try to point her out. So this one right here.
The biggest one down.
Turning on her side right now.
Yep.
Where I can tell, she's actually got a stalk barnacle.
Okay.
It's a growth right on the very tip of her dorsal fin.
Oh, okay.
So you got to have a good eye from here.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
Okay, cool. So we might see that when we get in the water with them shortly.
I'll point that out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll let you finish that, and then I'll meet you down there shortly.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go, everyone. We've got 7 of the dolphins in so far for this evening, which, again, is pretty cool. I've been doing this for 13 years with the resort this year, and it's still pretty exciting going down and seeing the dolphins come in, as you can imagine. Cool. One of the best things that happened is Emma will probably tell you as well, is when we get baby dolphin calf come in. So the mum comes in with a new calf. Normally it's less than 24 hours old when it comes in. Try not to talk over those speakers. Sorry, they're a bit loud. But the baby dolphins are a little over 30 centimetres long when they're born. They're very, very small and incredibly cute. Sorry, it's more speakers.
If you do have family or friends out in the water, if you do want to film them, you can film them from the beach, but just from behind the buckets. Now, just regarding small children do need to be carried out into the water. Infants don't receive a fish because they are too young and it is a safety issue. But if you do have a young child...
Now, those baby dolphins, when they first come in with their mother, they're so young when they're 24 hours old. From being curled up in the womb, their dorsal fin, their pectoral fins and tail flukes are all curly still. They're rolled up because the dolphin is in like what we'd call a fetal position in the womb. And because they've been in that fetal position as they've developed, they actually still come out, and it takes a few days for those fins to flatten out and straighten out. But they're incredibly cute. You'll just see them hanging around with their mother, and they will. They don't know how to swim smoothly yet, like their mothers. They don't glide through the water. They don't know how to conserve their breath, so they'll pop up for air far more often than the adults, and then they'll kick off at 1,000 miles an hour, flapping their tail as they go down into the water. It's very cute to see. Just think of it as a puppy learning to run, but it's in the water, so it's a very cool thing to see. In my time here, I think we've had 7, maybe 8 baby dolphins come through. Emma will probably remember as well that we've had a couple while she was working here, and again, it's a very special occasion when they turn up, and we're lucky that their mothers bring them in all the time. So sorry about this, the speaker's still going in the background, but we'll be down in the water shortly. Okay, so as you can see now, Josh and the team are now walking into their water for their staff feed. So they'll be taking down a couple of fish. They'll walk in up to just above their knees normally in water height, and they'll take fish in, check the dolphin's health, look for any markings on it, and feed it a couple of fish before they come back up and grab the first guest to go down and feed. So as far as if you're planning to have your guests come down and feed the dolphins, it's normally included in all of our accommodation packages. So when you're staying 2 nights or more, there's one of those nights you get to go in the water and feed the dolphins. Otherwise, there's a couple of the day cruise packages as well that also have dolphin feeding included. We're quite calm tonight, as you can see, just a few tiny waves. It's been wonderfully flat. We were actually kind of worried how it was going to be because we had thunderstorms in our region yesterday afternoon. A little bit of rain this morning back in Brisbane City, and obviously tonight it's beautiful and calm and looks fantastic. So, and I walked in the water earlier and it just feels amazing. So it's a wonderful temperature. Air temperature here tonight is probably about 26 degrees. There's a light cool breeze and the water's probably a similar temperature. It feels amazing. So they've just done their first feed. So we'll be heading down shortly. I'll just make sure I wash my hands again. So I've been holding this camera, and then we'll head down with Josh and feed, hopefully, Tinkerbell. So as we mentioned before, Tinkerbell, she's 31 years old this year and had multiple calves as well. But the cool thing is those calves have had calves as well, and they still come in. So we've got 3 generations of dolphin here tonight, which is very cool. So we're good to go whenever you're ready, mate.
Yeah, sweet. So basically what we just did was the staff feed.
Yep.
Now they just do a little powwow, make sure everything's okay. There's no fish hooks or anything like that.
Yep. So that the dolphin care team's just talking with each other to tell everyone knows that the dolphins are all okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And everything's all good.
Yep.
So
and then we come down and grab a fish now, eh?
That's it. So I'll let you grab a fish. When you grab it, you just go tail first.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. We've got the fish bucket.
That's
so this is the herring, everyone. So all the dolphins get this. I'll just shut this bucket again because it's the odd bird that comes through and tries to pick off a fish from the bucket. They know where the food is. So about 20% of their diet, 15-20% of the diet is what we're feeding them. What's that in kilograms or pounds? How many?
So what we do, we work out the dolphin's weight.
Yep.
It's an estimate because we're not weighing these dolphins.
Yep.
They're wild, like we said. So based off that, we'll then weigh a bucket of fish.
Yep.
It's about 3 kilos.
Yep.
Though we factor in that a second dolphin may be coming in.
Yep.
Well, most of the time, the bucket's not even empty by the end of that.
Okay. So about up to 3 kilos of fish. It could be shared between 2 dolphins.
Correct.
But they eat 15 to 20 kilos of fish a day.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah. It's a fair bit of steaks.
A lot of herons.
Yeah, there's no way I'm eating that much. And speaking of steaks, their favourite foods, they're like eels and octopus and, of course, the herring that we're feeding.
Herring, yeah. So they do prefer fatty fish, things like mullet, tuna.
Yep.
Like you said, eels. So something interesting, dolphins actually, from time to time, do bring us gifts.
Yeah, and the dolphin gifts. So there's a few unique characters, behaviours these dolphins show off, and one of them is we've got a display up there of the dolphin gifts that some of the dolphins have brought in through the years. We don't keep them all because there'd be far too many, but explain the whole dolphin gift scenario, Josh.
So, like we were talking about before, Rani, the alpha male, he tends to do it sometimes.
Yep.
If he brings you a fish, regarded as very lucky, what we try to do is return the fish back to the dolphin or the eel. It's often eels or squid. We do that 3 times, but Rani insists that we keep it, or the dolphin. So if that happens, we actually keep it, and you have
to take it out of the water.
Yeah, we take it out of the water, and we've got a alcohol sort of tank, which is full of all the gifts that we've been presented. It's quite cool.
Cool. Oh, we'll head on down now. So is Tinkerbell and Lame on with us? The males haven't muscled her out?
Not yet. They work on their own time, so they might come halfway through.
Yeah. Okay.
But for now,
they just choose to turn up later because they don't care. They're the bosses.
Boys turn up when they feel like it.
Okay.
So for now, we've just got Tinkerbell.
Okay, cool. So over here. So there's Tink over here. She'll come towards us a little bit. We'll go towards her a little bit. So there we go. Tink's coming over to us now. She knows where all the people are, so she's listening to that sound. So Tink, as Josh said, is about 230, 240 kilos and well over 2 meters long.
So, mate, you can go fish under the water now.
Oh, yeah, here we go. So we put the fish under the water. No, Tink's following all the people over the other side.
All good, mate. I just got to grab her.
Yep. That would be my fault because I took too long to put in the water and spent too much time talking. There we go. Josh giving her a couple of fish now. So I'm okay to put that in there? Here she comes. She's so gentle, doesn't touch me. Just hanging around now for another fish from Josh. Yeah.
So quite a large animal.
Yeah. She's so gentle. Ah, that's so cool. We'll go a bit deeper water? Okay. So it's quite shallow because of low tide at the moment. Normally we feed a bit closer to the beach, so we just get her out of that shallow water. Thanks, Josh. There we go. There you go. You want to feed her a few more and we'll get her running home to watch.
So like I was talking about before, that stalk barnacle that I could tell her apart.
Oh yeah, so this is on her tail fin there. So I can't walk around behind her because she won't. They don't like being boxed in. Normally there's photographers in the water and they stay off the end too, so your guests can get photographs of them. But hopefully you can see that little barnacle on her fin there. That's how you can tell that this is Tinkerbell, because she has that barnacle hanging off there. Oh, making a noise. Can you hear that? I'm not sure if you can hear that at home. She's sort of making a clicking noise there.
So that's an echolocation.
Oh, okay.
They produce clicks, 400 clicks a second.
Yeah.
So we can't really comprehend that. It just comes out of that sound. And
that's very cool. Yeah, I don't know. You won't be able to pick it up on your microphone at home, but I can hear it clicking away right now. So she's echolocating, waiting for you to put fish in the water again?
Or she's even telling what your leg's made out of.
Oh, really?
So she'll be able to tell just with this fish.
Yep.
Its fat content,
the bones,
bone structure, all things like that. So that's how they can even work out if they want to eat the fish before they've seen it.
Oh, okay. Such a beautiful animal.
Extremely, extremely intelligent.
And I can see she's got a couple of barnacles even hanging off her tail there.
We might head back, mate.
Yep. Okay. So we'll go back up the beach. We'll come back down and feed her one more time, because they're used to people coming in out of the water. This is their normal pattern. You can see the other dolphins are all lined up in their lanes over there. Once the feeding finishes in about 40 minutes from now, they'll all just head off into the night and go back to their normal thing. But they seem to know that sunset's the time. Thank you, sir. I think I can see 8 fins there now too, Josh. Okay. Yep. Yep. There we go. And Tink's coming back over to see us again now. Here she comes. So gentle, just gently takes it out of my hand, doesn't bite me or anything. It's amazing. That's very cool.
So these guys' intelligence actually rivals with apes.
Oh, really? He's waiting for another fish from me. Oh, that's wonderful. So hopefully everyone at home, they got to enjoy that for something a little bit different for tonight. But thank you very much, Josh.
Yeah,
we'll head back up there. We've got a couple of questions for the Q&A that we'll get from these agents. But when she's grabbed a few, I'll head back up.
I'll give her a couple more.
There we go. Oh, thank you very much, Josh. That's been wonderful of you tonight.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We'll unplug Josh from the microphone now, so he can go back to doing his normal job. Everyone. Thanks, Josh. You're off now. You can go do what you need. So everyone, you're just back to me now. Sorry, you have to suffer with just me, but Josh has got to go back to his normal nighttime job of looking after the rest of the guests who've come to feed. So that's a dolphin feeding experience from start to finish, including what most people don't get to see, what goes on in the background. You saw us go and check the dolphins, see which ones have come in. The dolphin care team do that every night. So that's me. Emma, have you got any questions lined up there? Has anyone got any questions you want me to try and help with?
Yeah, there's loads of questions if you've got time to answer a few. So from Chrissy, she has a couple around the dolphins and the age that they normally live to. So she was asking, in comparison to dogs that, might live, to age of 7 or 8, how long would a dolphin usually live for?
It seems to be for over 40 years. This particular species I should have mentioned earlier as part of the presentation, they're an inshore bottlenose dolphin, or an Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphin.
And just, I know you.
Sorry, sorry, I'm just stepping over things. And they take they'll live 40 to 50 years. The oldest one we seem to know of was what was her name? We had an old dolphin here for a long time. We suspected she was somewhere in the vicinity of 50 years old. She had no teeth left because of eating everything that she did for all the years. She had no teeth left. So now I can't think of her name.
We'll have to revert back to the family.
Yeah, sorry. But you'll have to go. I'm sure she's on the website, so you got to go and check that out.
Yeah, and so I know you touched on the cost for the dolphin feed, and it's part of the accommodation packages and also some of the day cruise packages. Just wondering if you can elaborate a little bit on that, because obviously it is capped, the numbers of how many people can dolphin feed.
So part of the dolphin feeding is that they're wild animals, and part of Marine Park's rules for us interacting with them, we only get about an hour in the water with them a night. And so when guests stay, if they stay for 2 nights or if they stay for a week, they still can only feed the dolphins one of those nights during their stay. Again, that's pretty much to protect the dolphins so that they're not being overfed. Otherwise, we could have multiple people feeding multiple fish every night during their stay when not necessary. So, and the 1 hour feed is obviously to help limit our interaction with them too much, so that they're not spending too much time with us and they can still go and live their life, hunt. And obviously I didn't get to show it tonight, but they do hunt regularly. When there's a high tide, it does happen. It's one of the most magnificent things you'll see is the dolphins shooting around the people while they're hand feeding the dolphins. They'll all of a sudden shoot off and chase a school of mullet that's swum through. I've only seen it happen 3 times in my time working here. I've been to the resort over 200 times now, but I only seen it happen 3 times in that time, where a school of mullet will swim through, which was a really bad decision on the mullet's behalf. And then the dolphins will all shoot off as a pack and chase these mullet across the shallows. And it's a really amazing spectacle to see. And they'll not run into anyone. That echolocation they have is just fantastic. And there's 250 kilos of dolphin flying around people, and there's multiples of them. They don't run into each other, they don't run into people, and it's an amazing thing to see. So as you can see, I still quite enjoy this. It's a very special activity, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it at home too, and hopefully I portrayed it enough for you to get something out of it.
No, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much. And just, seeing up close exactly what the dolphins look like, how gentle they are, that was an incredible thing to be able to show us live. So we appreciate it so much.
And I'm not sure if you told them, but this is the first time we've ever done a true live stream of a dolphin feed online through the internet before. It never ever happened on a live video before. In 58 years of the company and 31 years, 30 years of dolphin feeding, it's the first time we've ever done a live dolphin feed through video to other people around the world. So you guys got to experience it. Hopefully it worked.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're feeling very lucky and blessed that the internet has connected us with this kind of experience. It's incredible.
A little bit better than the boring PowerPoint presentation I would have given you instead. Hopefully you liked it a bit more than that.
But I do think once people go to Tangalooma once, they just fall in love with the place, because it is such an incredible experience, dolphin feeding, but also all the other island experiences that you can have, jumping on that big 4-wheel drive bus and going out to the desert and sand tobogganing, or heading up to the lighthouse at Cape Morton. There's so much to do. The
one that you have to do, and one of my favorite things, is there's helicopter sightseeing flights here, but the special one is when they fly south. So because we're on an island and there's all marine park around us, the southern end of the island, there's shallows, and in there's weed beds. That's where the dugongs and the turtles all live, and you can see them all from the helicopter, and it's a really, really special sightseeing flight. You'll also see, at the right time of year, you see dugongs with their calves swimming with them, and you can see herds of up to 80 of them together, which is really quite cool because most people have never seen a dugong in the wild at all, and you can see such great numbers of them here.
Yeah.
There's 2 lone males behind Emma's head. There is on her background. There's a sandbar. We've actually got 2 lone territorial males that live on that sandbar at the front of the resort too, and you can see them on our marine discovery cruises as well. But if you've got the time and a little bit higher budget, jump on the helicopter. You'll see dolphins, dugongs, and turtles from the air. If you do it from June to October, you'll even see the humpback whales as well. It's a really, really cool thing. I just love doing it when I get a media crew or someone that'll allow me to come in the helicopter with them when they're doing it. It's like, this is what you have to do. So
yeah,
that one's really special. So, any other questions that I can try and answer while I'm
perhaps people are curious about when there is a dolphin that comes in and they're in distress, or they might have a hook or something unfortunate happens. What does the dolphin care team do in that instance? Because obviously they have this special bond with the dolphins.
Normally they try, and if they can grab it quickly and take it out in the water, they will. They'll keep an eye on it over a number of days, because while they don't want to just touch them and avoid just grabbing them anytime anything happens, so they'll wait a few days and see if it dislodges itself or it goes away. If it doesn't and it looks like it's going to create a problem, they might put a canvas in the water. They'll lift it out of the water by this canvas sort of raft onto the beach quickly and cut the hook out, or cut the line off as soon as possible and put it back in the water as quickly as possible. It's a very rare occurrence they have to go that far, but that's normally what happens when there is a real problem for the dolphin.
And I guess, you know, this part of the world, it has so many wild animals, from turtles, dugongs, you know, mantas, or those stingrays that we spotted underneath the jetty. So you know, there's lots of opportunity to see wildlife, but also the dolphin care team, they're keeping an eye on what the wildlife's doing as well. So I think it's great that they're sort of being able to do that.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Any more questions, Emma will answer them, or you're welcome to shoot me an email or get in touch with me. I'll try and help, but otherwise Emma will pass you on any details onto me.
Yeah.
Had to Google dugongs. Yes, think of them as a sea cow or a manatee, but they're the Australian native ones. So the ones that are here, they grow up to about, again, 2.5 meters long, but they're about 400 kilos when they're fully grown. Big, gentle, quiet species that's typically quite shy, so we don't see them too often. So how do you get to Morton Island from Brisbane? You just take one of the Tangalooma ferries. It's part of the package. So Emma will shoot that details through to you. I just saw that question come up. So we have ferries that operate multiple times a day that come across to the jetty from our wharf in Brisbane on the Brisbane River. Takes about an hour and 15 minutes. It's roughly 32 kilometres boat ride out.
Yeah, I think that's probably one thing to note is how close it is. So Brisbane River, you know, to Tangalooma is 75 minutes. Did you say?
Yeah, hour and 15 minutes. So it's a quick run across. It's typically smooth water. You can see it in the background behind Emma's head there. So Brisbane would actually be almost directly behind her over in the distance there. And that's it. Yeah, over there. And about a 32 kilometre boat ride, or just over an hour. The wharf is only 15 minutes from Brisbane City by bus or car or taxi or Uber. An hour from the Gold Coast or an hour from the Sunshine Coast. So you can package it with any of those, whether you want to do a day trip or a multi-night stay.
Yeah, and also very close to Brisbane International Airport. So if someone wants to do this 2 nights before you head back to the UK, where you can you know, feed wild dolphins, hang out at a beautiful island resort and just soak up all of that Queensland sunshine, I think it's a no-brainer. If someone's in Brisbane, they have to visit Tangalooma Island Resort.
Yeah. So you'll send everyone a link to this. Anyone that's tuned in late, they'll be able to watch this video later.
Yeah, it's all recorded. So I will send the recording to everybody that's registered for the webinar, but also just please share with any of your colleagues, any of your clients that want to know what this experience is like. And then hopefully we can start sending everybody to Australia ASAP when things start to get back to normal. So thank you everybody so much for joining us.
Tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and have a great day.
yeah, have a good day or good night over here. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.